Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I'm Arpita Karwa. I hope you're all geared up for today's session because it's going to be another milestone in your preparation journey. Today we are diving into an essential topic from unit number 2, research aptitude, a concept that forms the backbone of any well-structured research study, and that is types of variables. Now, before we break down the types of variables, let's set the foundation by understanding what is a variable. In everyday life, we encounter numerous factors or characteristics that can vary from person to person, situation to situation, or even vary over time. These factors are what we call variables. I hope you have studied this topic in mathematics during your school days when we used to find the value of x and y, which were called as variables. Okay, because the value of x and y will keep on changing from one question to the other. Now, let us simplify this even more by giving you some examples. Think about a group of people. Now, their height, weight, age, or even preference for tea or coffee can differ. These are all variables because they change depending upon every individual. Similarly, the weather or the price of any commodity or number of hours you study in a week, these are all variables, aren't they? Because they keep on varying from person to person. Maybe I'm a person who can study for 70 hours per week. There can be another person who can just study for 25 hours. So this number of hours keep on varying from situation to situation, from person to person. Now, in research, variables are measurable traits or characteristics that researchers observe, manipulate, or analyze to draw conclusion. Now, they are the driving force behind any study, helping us all understand different relationship, patterns, and effect. So, watch this video till the end because we are going to uncover different types of variable, and also towards the end we are going to look at some solved PYQs. So get ready to make your research aptitude stronger than ever. Let's get started. But before that, sit back and relax because we've created a special PDF that summarizes this video and provides you exam ready notes. You just have to drop a message on the WhatsApp number that is flashing on your screen, or click on the WhatsApp link that is there in the description box, and we are going to send that handy PDF on your phone. So let's start by looking at what is independent variable, the first important type of variable. Okay, so let us first understand what is an independent variable. It's basically the variable that you as a researcher gets to control or manipulate. Think of it like a starting point in your research. Whenever you decide to do a research, the first thing that you're going to do is that you are going to decide what is going to be the research question, and after that you decide what is going to be the independent variable. Now we are going to look at different examples to make it very clear in your head, but before that let us understand that why do we call it independent. Because it doesn't depend on anything else in your study. It's free to change as you decide, so you can keep on manipulating the independent variable. Now, the whole point of adjusting the independent variable is to see how it impacts something else. Now, this something else is what we call dependent variable. Don't worry, I'm going to discuss dependent variable in detail in the next session. But for now, just remember that independent variable is the one that you are in charge of. Now, let me give you an example to make it very clear in your head. Imagine you are researching how exam performance is impacted by the number of hours a student sleeps before the exam. So, you are basically researching how sleep is going to affect your exam performance. So, what you are going to do, you decide to split your participants into two groups. The first group gets 8 hours of sleep, while the other group gets only 4 hours of sleep. Now, here the independent variable is the amount of sleep or the number of hours a person sleeps before the exam. Why is it an independent variable? Because you are controlling it. Then, what you do, you measure how well both groups perform on the same exam. Simple, right? Now, the idea is to see if the changes you made in the independent variable, which is the sleep duration, is going to impact the exam score. Let me give you another example. Let's say you want to find out if drinking coffee before a workout improves the performance in the workout. So you create 3 groups. The first group drinks a cup of coffee, another group drinks decaf, and the last group skips coffee altogether. They do not drink coffee at all. Now, the independent variable here is the type of drink, which is either coffee, decaf, or none. Why is it the independent variable? Because you are deciding which participant is going to get what. Then you observe how each group performs during the workout. Maybe you measure how long they run on the treadmill or how much weight they can lift. So you are measuring something and then you decide how the drink has impacted their performance. So the independent variable is always the thing you are controlling or changing to see how it influences something else. Now, friends, just a small information. You can find this topic explained in detail in my Amazon bestseller, which is the UGC Net Paper 1 book. It is India's only UGC Net book that comes with 100 plus video lectures and 3000 plus unit-wise solved PYQs. In fact, our book has been praised for its innovative teaching style by none other than the legendary Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. So make sure that you read the topic from the book as well. Alright friends, now let's talk about dependent variable. If the independent variable is the one that you control, the dependent variable is the one you observe or measure. In fact, it's the result or effect of the changes that has occurred in the research. Think of it like a plant. If independent variable is how much water you give to the plant, the dependent variable is how tall the plant grows, because you cannot control how tall the plant grows. You can just control the amount of water you give to the plant. So independent variable is something that you can control, whereas dependent variable is something that you measure. Okay, in order to see how the independent variable has affected the dependent variable. In simple terms, dependent variable depends on the independent variable. That is the reason why we call it dependent. It's what you are studying to see if and how it changes based on the conditions you set. Let me make this even clearer with a couple of examples. Remember the sleep study from the last section? You are comparing how 8 hours of sleep versus 4 hours of sleep affect students' exam performance. Here, the dependent variable is the exam scores, because that's what you are measuring as an outcome. The scores depend on the amount of sleep each student's got, which is the independent variable. Let me give you another example. Let's say you are studying if a particular type of fertilizer affects the growth of plant. So you use 3 different fertilizers and measure the height of plants after every month. In this case, the dependent variable is the height of the plant, because it's what you are observing to see the impact of fertilizer. And here the fertilizer is independent variable. So after these 2 examples, let me simply put that and you can see that on your screen. In the study where we are seeing how sleep impacts the exam performance, how much sleep does a student get before the exam is the independent variable, whereas exam performance is the dependent variable. In the second example, I told you that we are measuring how a particular fertilizer affects the growth of the plant. So here, the type of fertilizer is the independent variable, whereas the growth of plant is the dependent variable. And going back to the example of coffee that we discussed in the previous section, in that particular example, drinking coffee or the type of drink that you take before the workout is the independent variable, and your performance during the workout is the dependent variable. So this is how every time researcher decides what is going to be the independent variable and what is going to be dependent variable. I hope the concepts are crystal clear in your head. Now let us move on to the next type of variable. So now let's move on to another interesting form of variable, which is extraneous variable. Now these are like uninvited guests in your research study. These variables are the variables that you didn't plan for, but they still have the potential to affect the result of your study. An extraneous variable in simple terms is any factor other than your independent variable that might influence your dependent variable. While these variables are in the focus of your study, if you don't control them, they can mess things up and can lead to inaccurate conclusion. Confused? Let me simplify this by giving you a very simple example. Let's take the same example of studying the relationship between sleep duration, that is your independent variable, and the exam performance, that is your dependent variable. Now, in this scenario, an extraneous variable could include things like temperature of the exam room, noise level, or even the stress level of the student. These factors could independently affect how students perform on the exam regardless of how much sleep they have got. For example, ऐसा सोचो कि जो एग्जाम का प्रीमाइसिस है वो कोई नॉइजी स्ट्रीट के पास में है और बहुत ज्यादा ट्रैफिक का आवाज आ रहा है, जिस वजह से जो स्टूडेंट्स एग्जाम दे रहे हैं वो कॉन्सेंट्रेट ही नहीं कर पा रहे हैं. मे बी दीज आर द स्टूडेंट्स हु हैव गॉट इनफ स्लीप, but still, because of the noise level, they are not able to concentrate and they don't perform nicely. Because of this, you might conclude that कितना भी sleep हो, exam performance तो improve ही नहीं हो रहा है. But that's not the scenario, because sleep की वजह से the student is able to perform better in the exam. But because of noise level, उसका performance अच्छा नहीं हो पा रहा है. So, आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि ऐसे और कौन से फैक्टर है जिनकी वजह से आपका डिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल, दैट इज योर एग्जाम परफॉर्मेंस, इज गेटिंग अफेक्टेड. Now, to handle extraneous variables, researcher need to either control or at least account for these extraneous variables. Otherwise, they can make it harder to determine whether your independent variable is really the one that is driving the changes in the dependent variable. Now, there are two types of extraneous variables that are commonly asked in UGC NET paper 1. One of them is confounding variable, which is also known as confounds, and the other one is artifacts. Let's understand what is confounding variable. Now, confounding variables are sneaky factors that researchers forget to control or keep consistent, and they end up influencing the result. For example, imagine you are studying how different types of soil affects the growth of the plant. Now, if you don't keep the amount of sunlight same for all the plants, sunlight might become a confounding variable. It might influence the growth of the plant, making it harder for the researcher to see the real impact of the soil. For example, आपने अलग-अलग plants, एक ही plant को अलग-अलग soil के अंदर प्लांट किया है एंड यू आर ट्रेसिंग कि उनका ग्रोथ कितना हो रहा है. अब हो सकता है कि सॉइल के बजाय आप अलग अलग प्लांट्स को अलग अलग अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर दे रहे हो, या फिर जो सनलाइट है वो सबके लिए कॉमन नहीं है, फर्टिलाइजर कॉमन नहीं है. तो हो सकता है जो प्लांट की ग्रोथ में डिफरेंस दिख रहा हो वो सॉइल की वजह से नहीं हो, वो आपका जो वाटर में आपने चेंजेस करे, द अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर दैट यू आर गिविंग फॉर डिफरेंट प्लांट्स आर डिफरेंट. बिकॉज ऑफ वाटर द ग्रोथ इज डिफरेंट एंड येट यू माइट फील कि सॉइल की वजह से ये डिफरेंस आ रहा है. सो दैट मीन्स अगर आप टाइप ऑफ सॉइल का impact देख रहे हो on the growth of the plant, all the other factors, be it sunlight, water, fertilizer, all of that has to be constant. Okay. Now, the other type of variable, extraneous variable, is artifacts. And I would want to know from you whether you know what is artifacts, because this is commonly asked in UGC NET exam. So, put it in the comments section if you know what is artifact, and I would really appreciate if you can give me one very good example of the same. Let me see how intelligent my YouTube audience is. Now, for more such informative videos where I explain these important topics of UGC NET paper 1 in less than 15 minutes, you can hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon. And don't forget to check out my playlist section where I've organized unit-wise playlists for UGC NET paper 1. This way, you will be able to find all the video lectures for each unit together, making your preparation so much easier. Alright, now let's talk about attribute variable, also known as categorical variables. Now, these are variables that represent characteristics or qualities that can't be measured numerically in a traditional sense. Instead, they are grouped into categories or labels. Think of them as variables that help you classify or sort data into different groups. For example, your gender, male, female, or non-binary. It's a categorical variable. You cannot say कि अच्छा male is 1, female is 2. You cannot attribute a number to it. Okay, you cannot quantify it. Then another example could be the type of car you drive. It could be sedan, SUV, or hatchback. This is another example of categorical variable. Then you might also feel that your blood type. A, B और O, all of this falls into this category because यहाँ पे आप quantify नहीं कर सकते हो, number attach नहीं कर सकते हो. For example, in the previous section we discussed the amount of sleep and its role in the exam performance. So amount of sleep को you can vary numerically. 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. But gender को you cannot vary numerically. Male, female, non-binary. इसको तो आपको एक category या label ही assign करना पड़ेगा. So these are called attribute variables. Now the key thing about attribute variable is that they don't have a numerical value. But they are still incredibly important for research because they help us compare different groups. There are many more types of variables and there is also something called scales of measuring variables, which is a very very important topic और यहाँ से UGC नेट में हर साल एक ना एक शिफ्ट में सवाल आता ही है. So to learn more about them, you can check out my UGC NET Paper 1 book. In fact, in my book, I've given excellent Bollywood examples which can help you easily remember all of them and recall some very technical variables. Okay, so now it's the time to look at some previous year questions and to see whether this video will help you answer those. So the first question is, an example of categorical variable is. Now out of the 4 options, I'm pretty sure that if you have listened to my lecture very very attentively, you will know that the correct answer is option number A. Why? Because we've discussed in the previous section that categorical or attribute variables are the ones that cannot be expressed numerically. Now if you look at the option B, C and D, all of them can be expressed in numerical terms, whereas option A, that is teacher's hair color, cannot be measured in numerical terms. We can either classify it as per the colors, for example red, yellow, orange, purple. I'm just imagining a teacher with yellow hair color. Looks very weird, but yeah. So that's how you classify it as a categorical variable. Hence the correct option is A. Moving on to the next question. The question says, a college teacher intends to find out as to what extent student involvement in learning of boys and girls from rural urban area is attributable to the socio-economic status of the family from which they hail. What will be designated as an independent variable in this research project? Now you will see a lot of these kind of questions which are really really huge, as in the length is really long, and that is the reason why the student might feel कि अरे बाप रे ये तो बहुत ही difficult है. But the very basic strategy that you should adopt in order to solve these questions is to break it down into different parts and then हर part को individually समझते हुए आपको पूरे question को समझने की कोशिश करनी है, because the question is very simple. They've just used a lot of terms and they have made the length long to make it look complicated. Otherwise the question is very very simple. Now the correct answer is socio-economic status of the family. How is that the correct answer? Let us understand. In this research, the socio-economic status of the family is the independent variable. Why? Because it is a factor that is being studied to determine its effect on the student involvement in learning, which is the dependent variable. Other factors like rural urban areas, gender may be considered additional variables, but they are not the primary independent variable in this study. Okay, so now there's another question that is flashing on your screen. Let's see if you know the answer or not. If you know the correct answer, put that in the comment section below. If you're looking for more PYQs on topic like these, then you can refer to the Unit 10 questions in my UGC NET Paper 1 book that comes up with 3000 plus unit-wise solved question. And also, we have numerous online mock test available that is available free of cost with the book. So that's it from my side for this video lecture. I'll meet you very soon in the next video lecture. Till the time we meet next, happy learning, keep loving literature and stay tuned to arpitakarwa.com.